The other day I sat in my car and went to pull my phone out to make a call. And it said, Face ID not recognized. And I thought, well, this is strange. I moved the phone around. I know it's kind of a shock for my phone to look at my face, but Face ID, no Face ID. And then I realized I had my face mask on. It couldn't tell who it was with my face mask. And once I removed the face mask, the phone opened up. Being able to recognize who's important in our world and becoming more difficult. In our gospel today, Jesus says, "You will know me by my voice. For I am the shepherd who calls you by name. If you hear my voice and know that voice, you'll follow me out to pasture. And I'll go before you. I'll lead you where you need to go." In this beautiful Easter season, in the midst of this season, we're given this beautiful gospel on this Good Shepherd Sunday to remind us that indeed Jesus is the Good Shepherd. He has called us by name, just not as a group and say, hey, everybody, let's go out. He calls us each by our name, the risen Lord, and says, come. And we have to make a choice. First of all, we have to know, do I know this voice? Is the voice of Jesus a familiar voice in my life? And it may sound like a silly question, but perhaps we've lost a sense of that voice. Perhaps we've become distant from God. Perhaps we've become distant from the Scriptures. Perhaps we've not prayed as we need to. And if that's the case, then that voice may not be as familiar as it once was. But it doesn't prevent the Good Shepherd from calling us by name. And so once we know that this is the voice of Jesus, then our second decision is to say, shall I go? Will I follow? Will I follow in the footsteps of the shepherd? The shepherd's sole role is to protect the flock, is to bring the flock to green pastures, to help that flock come to life and to protect it from thieves and robbers and wolves and all sorts of things that might hurt and injure that flock. And it is the voice of Christ that if we hear closely will lead us to those pastures. No matter what we face, no matter what trials we have. I look out now into an empty church and go, well, where is the flock? Are we lost and scattered? I don't think so. I think we're gathered in ways we can't fully understand. I think we know that the voice of Jesus has called us wherever we are in our homes, wherever we are in the course of our day, wherever we are on life's journey, to be one, to come together. And so we need to hear this voice today, the voice of Christ in the gospel, the voice of God who says, I'll lead you if you let me. Sometimes we want to be so controlling, especially in the world in which we live. I want to be in charge of everything and control everything, and I know I struggle with that myself, of making sure that everything's proper and in the right place today. But it is the Lord who says, let me lead you. Hear my voice deep within and follow. We can hear that voice if we pause in the midst of all of this to say, Lord, I will be silent so that you might speak. Let me hear you in scriptures. Let me hear you in the depths of my heart. Let me hear you in the voices of loved ones who surround me and care for me, so that I might indeed make the choices that I need to make here and now, this very day and in the days to come. For it is God's desire and God's desire alone to call us to that place of peace and calm. It is Jesus who continually told his disciples, do not be afraid, have faith, take courage. That's the voice of the Good Shepherd. That's the voice of the shepherd that speaks to all of us and calls us by name. He calls us to life more full than we could possibly imagine. And that invitation has been given to us and waits for our response.